Leonard's young Sheldon death would make the Big Bang Theory's most divisive story even worse. When young Sheldon eventually catches up to the timeline of the Big Bang Theory, fans know it's going to tug at heartstrings, particularly with the looming death of George Cooper Sr., but a fan theory has begun to take shape that's far more shocking. What if Leonard Hofstadter, Sheldon's longtime best friend and roommate, dies in young Sheldon's closing years? While this would no doubt shake the franchise to its core, it would also catastrophically worsen the Big Bang Theory's most divisive storyline, Sheldon and Amy winning the Nobel Prize. Leonard's death, if even hinted at in young Sheldon's final seasons, would retroactively cast an eerie shadow over the Big Bang Theory, especially its finale. Leonard was the emotional anchor of the series, the one who tried to understand Sheldon when no one else could. For over a decade, their odd couple friendship defined the show's core dynamic. To eliminate Leonard post-Big Bang Theory without any foreshadowing or acknowledgement during the original series would feel not only jarring, but emotionally dishonest. And this hypothetical twist would be most damaging when viewed through the lens of Sheldon's Nobel Prize victory. That storyline, which concluded the Big Bang Theory, has already left fans divided. Many felt that Sheldon's arc concluded with an unearned sense of redemption, especially given how poorly he treated his friends throughout the series. His big final speech, thanking Leonard, Penny, Howard, Raj, Bernadette, and Amy, was meant to be touching, but it glossed over years of emotional neglect and often cruel behavior. Imagine if, sometime after that speech, Leonard dies. Now Sheldon's moment of gratitude in the finale feels hollow, even haunting. The speech that was supposed to signal his emotional growth becomes a tragic reminder of what he never truly gave Leonard in life: equal respect, genuine empathy, and reciprocal care. Leonard was often the one sacrificing for Sheldon, letting him stay rent-free, managing his routines, tolerating his insults, and while there were moments of tenderness, it was rarely mutual. A post-TBBT death for Leonard, especially depicted in young Sheldon, would also add a layer of regret that the original show never intended. For example, Sheldon never truly acknowledged how much Leonard meant to him until the final episode. But if Leonard were to die young, or even unexpectedly, it would make viewers retroactively question whether Sheldon's change came too late. Did Sheldon ever tell Leonard how important he was? Did they stay in touch after the series ended? Young Sheldon introducing Leonard's death without resolving those emotional gaps would leave fans heartbroken and bitter. What's worse, it would completely overshadow Amy and Sheldon's Nobel victory, which was supposed to represent the culmination of their journey together. Their accomplishment already raised eyebrows, especially since it sidelined the rest of the characters and felt like a convenient way to give Sheldon a trophy for being right all along. If Leonard's death is introduced in this post-script world, then that victory feels doubly cold. It would be the moment Sheldon got everything he wanted, just as he potentially lost the one person who sacrificed the most for him. Of course, young Sheldon has already begun retconning aspects of the Big Bang Theory canon. We've seen a kinder George S.R., a more empathetic Mary, and a version of Sheldon that occasionally shows self-awareness. If young Sheldon ends with a scene set years after the events of the Big Bang Theory, the writers might be tempted to use that future setting to give some finality to the franchise. That's where the Leonard death theory could emerge, perhaps as an offhand comment by adult Sheldon, voiced again by Jim Parsons, who refers to Leonard in the past tense. But that kind of reveal would be devastating, and not in a narratively satisfying way. Unlike George Sr.'s inevitable death, which has been foreshadowed across both shows and grounded in real emotional consequences, Leonard's death would feel abrupt and unearned. It would be yet another example of how the Big Bang Theory, and now young Sheldon, often treats Leonard with dismissive neglect. Throughout the series, he was ridiculed, ignored, and even emotionally sidelined by his peers, and if young Sheldon concludes his story with an unceremonious death, it would be a tragic final insult. It would also raise uncomfortable,